And so this has been a fantastic, eye-opening experience coming to Uzbekistan.
Particularly as you see the trees and the shade, so a really kind of great way to engage the villagers and have a nice rural type of meal.
So some of the common trends, it's really important to see where you're located and the access to your location.
So I would love to see some camels out here, camel riding. Again, is a agricultural and rural experience. That's a great way to give people great selfies.
I've got an interesting sort of background. I'm a tourism lecturer for Arizona State University, and I also work with governments and advising governments, and I also work with businesses and giving them tourist development, management, and marketing advice. Well, again, you have to offer something that's interesting. It's got to be compelling. Because in tourism, you're competing with so many different attractions. You're competing with shopping, you're competing with adventure. So you have to be able to compete. You have to offer something that someone wants to do, and then they need an escape. And so if you don't have big mountains or big lakes, nature, forests nearby, that's where farms come in.
But I think one of the great points brought up, particularly looking at children and young people, is they don't know where milk comes from. They don't know where cheese comes from. They don't know where in this whole process. And so this is just a great way of getting them hands-on personal experience. And really, children love animals at all points. And so that just makes it that much more engaging here. There's an education, entertainment, excitement, all mixed in one in an agricultural setting.
Really important to see where you're located and the access to your location. So everywhere I've seen in Samarqand, in Andajan area, and Bukhara area, the farm was fairly close to a very popular tourism center. Okay, so if you have a lot of tourists, it's easier to attract them. Some of the common trends are too with the farms is that farmers are dedicated so much all day long on their farm, and there's so many different challenges and issues that they have to focus on. Even today, one of the farmers is very worried about a very sick cow and making sure that that cow doesn't get other cows sick. So they are focused on their agribusiness, so opening up a whole new aspect of business to tourism and people coming in, people demanding time, that might be a bit confusing, and it might be a bit frustrating. Stay with your specialty. You're a farmer, stay with farmer, but get to know people in the tourism industry. People that have restaurants or hotels, or that have tour buses and they bring tours in. Invite them to your farm. Be a very gracious host. Sit down to dinner, show them your farm, and then ask them, do you see potential here for you bringing tourists in? So that's a win-win, because the tour operator has the bus, they do the marketing, they have the people. They want to do something else than a city restaurant, so maybe they'll come to your farm for dinner. Let them bring the people in, and you focus on providing a good experience, maybe a good dinner, maybe some song and dance, maybe a tour around your farm to see your cows, to see your crops, maybe pick some raspberries or apples, but let them focus on tourism.
And particularly, everyone wants to come to the Silk Road to ride what? Camels. Camels. So I would love to see some camels out here, camel riding. Again, is a agricultural, a rural experience. That's a great way to give people great selfies, which they can promote on the internet. So, and again, it follows along with the Silk Road theming here. And again, you've got a wild area where you can do an actual Silk Road caravan through there, and then come on back here to a nice little village restaurant.
So again, a great follow-up. So we've talked about, first thing, see if you can find somebody in the tourism industry, hotel owner, a tour operator that brings people there, have them over to your farm and show them what you think is unique and might be a business. They will give you good advice. They say, oh great, I would love to bring people here. That's a really good partnership. Or maybe they say, you need to work on developing this, maybe horse riding or milking cow. They will give you advice. Number two, you can go to the government and see if the government has any programs, or they might have some grant money that they can give you. Number three, go to the university and talk to the experts there.
As you can see along the tree line here, that's kind of the village. And there are village areas there that we can engage, particularly if we're thinking about having a village kind of experience for a place to eat, a village restaurant. It's better to have it outside the operations of the cattle ranch and more dedicated to the village, particularly as you see the trees and the shade. So a really kind of great way to engage the villagers and have a nice rural type of meal area, areas where the kids can run around as well.
So a very important focus in the tourism industry, and just about any industry, is sustainability and your impact on the world, your impact on people. In tourism, we call them the 3 Ps. What are you going to affect? The people, the planet, and your profitability. So again, to be sustainable, you need to be able to make money. So make sure that that is a primary concern, is that I got to be able to make enough money where I can pay my employees, I can pay off the vendors, suppliers. But then think about the planet. What am I doing to the planet that is impacting the planet? So again, that could be with air conditioning. Am I using too much electricity? I don't need to put a big pool in here and use all sorts of water. What about waste? Are we producing a lot of trash and not composting? So that's part of the planet. And then lastly, look at the people are all part of sustainability. That means working with your family, working with your community so that they are part and they're engaged and they're accepted with your agritourism business.
So one of the things I've asked them to do is get the water checked for pollution level, but you could actually make an adventure kind of in inner tubes. So you could be going down the river in inner tubes here, so there's an adventure tourism experience that you can build in here, as long as it's safe and hygienically clean.
So yeah, in conclusion, I really want to thank USAID for bringing me out to Uzbekistan. What a fantastic experience. I think it's a beautiful place. It's an engaging place, but I think I love the people the most about it. And then again, that reflects back to agritourism, is its people, hospitality, warmth, interaction. And I think that's what USAID does best, is they get people around the table, get the experts thinking about it, working with the government, working with the universities, and working with the people on how can we collectively partner to all become successful in what our goals are in our sustainable mission.